Hey there, it's BoardGameDave. So, really quick story. Last Thursday, I happened to see a Facebook post by al-joujou, the creator of Clans of Caledonia, one of my all-time favorite top 5 games of all time. And he basically was saying, hey, we've got this expansion, Kickstarter running right now, and we have a spare Industria expansion. Somebody couldn't make content, so could anybody possibly make a really quick preview video with a really short turnaround? I said, sure, I would love to do that. So, long story short, this arrives at my door on Monday. This past Monday. On Thursday, I got some guys together to give it a try. Now it's Saturday morning, and I'm hoping to get this filmed, edited, B-roll shot, finalized, uploaded by tomorrow on Sunday. Now, you might be thinking, why all the rush? Well, the Kickstarter ends this Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern time, so you don't have a lot of time to make up your mind about whether or not to back this expansion on Kickstarter. But today, I'm going to show you what's included inside this box and why you might want to consider backing the Industria expansion and or the base game Clans of Caledonia. But first of all, a little bit about Clans of Caledonia if you're not familiar with this game already. So this is a 2017 Euro economic industry building game set in 19th century Scotland. And throughout the course of the game, you're going to be expanding throughout this map. You're going to be placing workers to gain income, and you're going to spend that money to build industries, getting basic resources, refining them into processed goods. You're going to be trading on this variable commodity market, which is super fascinating, that responds to the supply and demand of the game. You'll be increasing your shipping range to build farther and farther settlements. You're going to be scoring end of round goals, all these different things. And perhaps the most overlooked or easy to overlook and amazing things about this game is the unbelievable asymmetry. So each player plays as a certain clan, and they've got this insane ability / rule breaking ability or something like that, and it makes each player's whole game strategy play style completely different. I love that about Clans of Caledonia. So as I already mentioned, it's my number 5 favorite game of all time, the last time I ranked my games. And I've been playing it constantly since I first got it, I think in 2019. So it's a phenomenal game. And of course, there's so much now to explore with this brand new Industria expansion. So let's talk about what is offered inside this box. Now, one of the best things about this expansion is that it's so modular. So it features 11 modules in total, meaning you can basically pick and choose as many or as few of those modules as you want to pepper into your gameplay, depending on how much you want to totally transform your Clans of Caledonia, game. And they do this partially by just giving you more of what was included in the base game. So you've got 4 brand new map tiles with waterfalls as a feature. You've got 9 new starting tiles. You've got 9 new clans. You've got 9 new port tiles. And you also have 9 new end of round scoring tiles as well. So there's a lot more that you can just throw into the base game without really diving too much into the big new module, which is this train board. But before we even get to that, there's 16 milestone markers, 9 award tiles, 9 farmers market tiles, and there's an actual Solo Automa opponent. So if you know about the base game, it was a beat your own score solo variant, but now there's an actual Automa deck you can actually play against a AI player basically, which is really interesting. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm really eager to play Clans solo again against a deck-based opponent. But now let's talk about the main feature of this expansion, which is this train map. So this is going to add a whole big old board to the table with a whole bunch of tiles on it and a few components for each player, including these little trains. So this is going to add 2 new actions you can do on your turn in addition to the normal actions in the base game. And one of them is the train action. Now, you can only do this once per round, so 5 times total in the game, but they're extremely valuable and very lucrative if you can pull them off. So for the train action, you're going to take your little train and you're going to move it 1 to 2 spaces to a new city or town. Once you get there, you have to deliver the printed goods on the tile, and then you're going to get this delivery bonus. And there's 24 different bonuses in the box, but they are extremely powerful and sometimes situational, but they're going to give you things like 30 coins for removing 2 workers from your board, or 15 coins and you get to take a new export contract and put it on top of one you might already have, or take back a brewery and spend 5 coins to gain 1 of each resource, things like that. And they're all super exciting and interesting. And as we kind of, read all the descriptions of each delivery tile, at the beginning of the game, we're like, whoa, and we look at this other one, it's like, oh my gosh. Then we look at this next one, it's like, what? I'm looking at this one right here that was like our favorite one when we were playing. This is remove a granary from the map to, for free, fulfill an export contract without paying any of the goods. That's an insane tile. So this was a place we were hanging out a bunch throughout the game. But as you complete deliveries, you're going to get little milestone markers, okay? Little things like this. And the game, like I said, features these milestones, and you're going to use your little tokens to score them, and there's more points for scoring them early on. But that's another action you can take, that claiming a milestone marker, which, by the way, also unlocks certain cities and tunnels and kind of shortcuts along the map. So it's this fascinating whole separate board that's really fun to explore and mess with. And by the way, those 9 new clans that I mentioned are absolutely insane. Like, they have crazy abilities. Like, one of them lets you, for each merchant you use, buy or sell 2 goods instead of 1, which is kind of nuts. Another one lets you turn workers that are next to sheep into kilt makers, and kilts are basically a wild resource, which is amazing. Another one lets you breed your animals, which is very powerful. I was Clan Gordon, which makes my granaries cheaper, and they make 3 wheat each, which is nuts. And I can store 3 of them into my silo, which gives me additional action benefits later on, which again is kind of insane. There's one where you can completely ignore the whole shipping thing, basically, because you can skip across land, which was never a thing before. So there's these all new, crazy mechanisms and, gameplay breaking things that these clans let you do, which is fascinating. There's also, by the way, I mentioned the farmers market tiles, but basically they work kind of like a neighbor bonus where you get to buy things for cheap. These let you sell things for an extra profit at the farmer's market. So it's a really powerful way to kind of gain money in the middle of a round. Oh, and I have to mention this because this was so unexpected and such a pleasant surprise. So when this arrived, I was shocked at how big this expansion box was, because if you remember, the base game was super compact, right? I thought, well, what could be inside the expansion that needs this much space? Well, it comes with all these organizers with little lids. It's almost like those game trays. They're not, I don't think, but there's all these trays that fit everything from the expansion and the base game, which is amazing. So I can finally organize my Clans of Caledonia into these trays. And I love, by the way, this reference sheet labels basically every component in the game and which tray it goes into. And then on the back shows you how to stack everything back into the box, which is just the best thing ever. And honestly, genuinely is like a pretty strong reason why I would get the expansion, so I can organize the base game, which speeds up setup, and keeps everything nice and organized. So it's huge. I love that. Yeah, a huge plus for me. So anyways, that's a really quick overview of what's featured inside of this Industria expansion. Now, of course, I wish I would have had more time to get it to the table and mess with the solo mode and kind of see all the different clans and the way they interact and stuff, but I've only had it for a few days, so needless to say, there is so much inside this box for those of you who love the base game and just want to have more replayability and more tiles and things to explore in the base game, or if you want to totally overhaul your game of Clans of Caledonia, of course, throw in that train map and mess with the delivery tiles and goods, and it is so wild. I mean, it's so interesting to explore those new dynamics. So anyways, like I said, this is currently live on Kickstarter until Friday, so you don't have too much time to go and back this game. It's $41 for the base game, $41 for the expansion, and you can also get the metal coins, literally my favorite set of metal coins in the world. I've used them over 100 times in various games since I got them back in 2020. They're versatile, they're generic enough you can use them with a lot of different, games of this era. So, and there's these new 20s with trains on them, which I need to get a hold of. So anyways, check out the Kickstarter. Of course, I have a link down in the description, so use that to check out the Kickstarter. And yeah, in the meantime, get a head start on your holiday shopping by checking out these videos here, and have a wonderful week. Take care and happy gaming. And maybe I'll get a playthrough video posted this week, but don't hold me to that. Okay, take care. Bye.